Welcome to Nisreen's Art World. I'm Nisreen, a dancer and a visual artist with a background in graphic art and psychology, currently based in the US. This podcast is your gateway to a creative fusion of ideas where I explore everything from book reviews to dance analysis, all through an artistic lens in both English and Japanese. Whether you're here for inspiration, insight, or a fresh perspective, I'm glad you're joining me on this journey. Hello everyone, this is Nisreen. Welcome to the 9th episode of Season 3. It's so lovely to speak with you again. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a musician many people outside Japan have never heard of, even though he quietly shaped generations of listeners. Kōzō Murashita. He was active as a singer-songwriter between 1980 and 1999 and is especially known for his hit song Hatsukoi or First Crush from 1983. When he suddenly passed away due to a brain hemorrhage, he was only 46. I'm actually one of the people who discovered him a bit too late, finding his songs on YouTube and being astonished by how uniquely beautiful they are. From the perspective of a visual artist, I'd love to break down 3 reasons why his work is still very much relevant today. The thumbnail of this episode is a drawing inspired by my favorite song of his, Yūko, written in 1982. In the YouTube version of this episode, I share the process of drawing this piece in the background. I hope you'll enjoy it. 1. Soft yet masculine singing voice. The first thing people may notice about Murashita's music is how effortless he sounds. Many musicians point out how technically flawless his singing is, as well as his award-winning guitar skills. There are, of course, other great male singers from his generation, such as Masashi Sada, Kazumasa Oda, and Chiharu Matsuyama. They and Murashita all share a crystal clear quality in their voices on the high. The innocent atmosphere he conveys emphasizes the beauty of songs about adolescence, such as Hatsukoi and Shoujo. However, what makes Murashita distinctive as a vocalist is the gentle, warm, and deep quality of his lower tones. He somehow sounds very suave. This style of masculinity even reminds me of American singers from older generations such as Paul Anka or even earlier Frank Sinatra. The charm of Murashita's deeper tone shines particularly in songs such as Akina from 1991. He wrote this song to show support for his favorite pop singer Akina Nakamori during a major scandal at the time. I truly appreciate his range as a singer, which spans from a boy's innocence to a grown man's gentleness. I believe this versatility is what makes his songs feel convincing, not just romantic, which leads me to my next point. 2. Realism and romanticism. His songs were, even by the standards of the time, somewhat old-fashioned. They were rooted in 1970s folk music, though with a touch of electric pop that became more popular in the 1980s. Some may say that Murashita's rather retro style was the reason he didn't become as famous as he deserved. However, one thing that sets him apart from many folk songwriters is a balance between his sense of dreaminess and realism. Many folk songs from the 1970s realistically portray the modest lives of young people, sometimes with a social or political context. Murashita's music, on the other hand, contains no trace of poverty. If 1970s folk music is like the work of Jean-François Millet, who painted the lives of farmers, Murashita is more like Dante Gabriel Rossetti, a painter of romantic and mythological scenes. However, even in his romantic lyrics, Murashita always demonstrates a refined sense of psychological realism. For instance, in Yume no Tsuzuki or The Rest of a Dream, he sings, quote, "Tell me about your dreams. When you do, it makes me feel happy," you said and smiled. Our time together overflowed the wine glass, and only after it spilled did we suddenly realize. Like little puppies running through the snow, checking the way home as they wander farther away. It wasn't that we were searching for a higher kind of love, nor that we were looking for a greater romance. I wanted us to keep walking together, following the rest of our dream. I believed that we would remain just as we were." Unquote. This expression perfectly captures how a love that once seemed eternal gradually becomes restrained over time. 3. Compelling storytelling. Murashita's music also has some modern elements. Having said that, I love how he stuck to an old-fashioned style of lyric writing despite the shift in trends within the Japanese music industry. He continued telling stories with beautiful expressions without scattering random English words throughout his lyrics. Don't get me wrong, English is a beautiful language. However, I'm not particularly impressed by the trend in Japanese music from the 1980s onwards of inserting an English phrase into Japanese lyrics simply for the sake of sounding cool. Murashita's lyrics are never just about feelings. He unpacks each story using vivid visual details, sometimes resembling a novel, and at other times a film. Yūko, the song that inspired my drawing, is particularly striking in its storytelling technique. The lyrics go, quote, "Sitting quietly in the shadow of memory, looking solemn, a woman with pale fingertips plays the piano. I like Chopin. When I play sad melodies, they suit someone like me who cannot fall in love," she said. "What kind of past has changed you so? The shadow in your eyes is unbearably sorrowful. A love that cannot be spoken is like the sound of the sea, rolling in endlessly from afar, shaking my heart again and again. The sound of the piano is somehow cold, and that woman, like the Mona Lisa hanging on the wall, doesn't even glance at childish me. Like a pearl, she has tightly closed the heart. After losing something irreplaceable, nothing similar can ever take its place. I dreamt a dream. Through the window, I watched your black hair flowing in the wind, tangling around me, and then I awoke. Let this song reach you. A love that cannot be spoken is like the roar of the sea, rolling in endlessly from afar, shaking my heart to its core." Unquote. It is remarkable how he uses visual language to describe unspoken love. When Murashita sings these words with such beautiful melodies, I would call it a happy marriage between literature and music. Kōzō Murashita was a musical genius who combined a versatile singing and guitar style, a poetic sensibility that was both modern and classical, and unique storytelling techniques. His songs continue to inspire me to visualize the emotional depth he expressed. I truly hope he receives greater recognition, both in Japan and internationally. How did you find today's episode? I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider leaving a review or comment. Liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel will be more than welcome. There's also a Japanese version of this episode. Please check the link in the description if you're a Japanese speaker or learner. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye for now.